Well, I have been working with Uruguayan films as much as I can, because I live in São Paulo and very close to Uruguay. I live 2 hours away, so I go very frequently there. So I'm very related to Uruguayan films. And I did, before Stranded, I did a feature film called The Pope's Toilet. That is my direction and co-direction and photography, and I also produced it. So I'm very close to Uruguayan films. And this story in particular is a story that was very close to me because I was part of that group. I was a member of that rugby team, and my best friend died in the accident, and one of the guys that survived is a very close friend of mine. All of them I know, but some are very close friends, so it's something that was very close to my heart, so yes. It was natural that I would do it. And I don't choose the films more for the budget. I choose them because filming is very intense, so you have to have something that you like to do. Yes. It's not only the money, it's something that you have fun doing. So this was a story that I was going to enjoy because it's a personal story, my friends. It was directed by a friend of mine, Gonzalo Rijon, we're very close. With Gonzalo, I recommended Gonzalo to meet one of my other best friends that is a writer that could help. So it's like a family thing. It's a very close thing.
Okay, that's the thing.
Well, Gonzalo wanted to recreate the plane in the site of the accident. So his idea was to get a piece of plane from the army or something and put it in the snow.
Right.
And I had some experience in doing effects in post-production because of the color and so, and I suggested that it would be much easier and we would save a lot of money and we would save time, because filming in the snow is difficult and cold and complicated and far away from any city. So I suggested, because in South America, in Uruguay, there is no snow, so we would have to travel to Chile. It was going to be difficult. So I suggested that we put the piece of plane that we had on the sand dunes, and then in electronic we would burn out the sand to make it white. And we did some tests, and I showed them to Gonzalo, and he was happy. So we did it there. And we were very, very, very lucky because we had a very bad weather, and the bad weather helped. So it was very uncomfortable to film, but it gave the wind and everything was very real, so it helped a lot. And then we did 3 days in the real snow, but with no plane, just the guys walking, just to mix it. So we did a little bit in Uruguay and a little bit in Chile. So I think it's so interesting that this group of people, one of the names that the film was going to have was the 10th day. Because on the 10th day, they found out that they were not going to be searched for. Right. So that day, the 11th day, starts a new society. How are we going to live? How are we going to survive? Yeah. The need to survive and the need to get together and all the decisions that they have to make. So you have a little example of a new society being built, and how it's important that they keep together, because together they can fight against the problems that they have. I think it's universal. I am very passionate about this story. And the other day, yesterday, we were going in the bus with some friends here in Japan to see the Cirque du Soleil, and I was telling them about this, and they were so, tell me more, and what did happen, and how did they do, and how did they organize. So it's very, and their relationships, like for example, it's very, very incredible that there is a couple, a lady and a man, and when they have to decide if they're going to eat or no, she is the first that decides, because she's a mother. So her mother instinct makes her, I'll do anything, but I want to save my kids. So she eats, and her husband does not eat. He takes longer to eat. So, all these things are very interesting to understand human being, to understand ourselves. How do we behave? I think it is a film that has to be seen because it's a story about life and surviving and energy and positive group thinking. And that is something that Japan has very, very powerful, the group. When I arrived here, I saw how well organized a society is, and you can only organize a society if people respect each other and help each other. And this is an extreme situation of that. It's people at the border of death having to survive and how one helps each other in order to survive. So I think it's a very powerful film that should be seen.